Hey, is this thing on? Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am really excited to get into the topic for today because it is something that I actually use on a regular basis. It really works for me. It has enhanced my productivity so much more, and it's just a really great thing to help you stay on track and also help you stay motivated. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my easy and beneficial brain dumping guide. So let's rewind just a little bit. What is a brain dump? So brain dump is literally exactly what it sounds like. If you think about dumping something out, you take everything in a container, you dump it into probably the trash or in the sink or wherever you're putting it. But when you are brain dumping, you're literally taking everything out of your brain and putting it into a tangible source that you are then able to segment into things like your to-do list, time blocking, or your personal calendar. So I started brain dumping, I would say probably about 4 to 5 years ago, when I was just feeling really overwhelmed and I couldn't stop my thoughts from racing every single night, and I was not getting good rest because I was constantly thinking about everything that needed to be done, worrying about whether or not I was going to forget to do something, or simply just thinking of new ideas and things that I wanted to try because there was nowhere on paper where I had all of my thoughts and ideas organized. So then once I created a system to brain dump, get all of my thoughts and ideas out of my mind and onto paper or onto some type of digital form, it was so much easier for me to be able to rest peacefully, knowing that I'm not forgetting anything, that everything is taken care of. And if something does pop up, I literally roll over, put it on the list, and go back to sleep because I know I don't want to forget about it, but I'm also not going to completely let it consume my mind and my thought patterns and interfere with my sleep. So the first thing I want to discuss in regards to brain dumping is the kind of different methods of how you go about keeping up with your brain dump list. I think if you are a pen and paper person, then you should definitely brain dump on an actual sheet of paper in some type of journal or something that you can take with you. However, unless you kind of are in the same place at all times or you carry it around with you at all times, it can be a little bit tricky because if you're like, oh, I have this idea, I need to put this on my brain dump list, and you don't have that list or that journal with you, then you're not going to be able to brain dump it and it's not really going to serve its purpose. So unless you are someone that has like a notebook in your purse or with you at all times, then that may not be the best option, but you can use like a tangible notebook, pen and paper to organize your thoughts and ideas as you're moving forward. Another option, which is kind of the direction that I typically go, is to use technology. So literally on my iPhone notes, I have a brain dump list. It's titled Amber's Brain Dump, and every single thing that pops into my mind that I know needs to be taken care of goes onto that list. I like this because my phone is with me pretty much all the time. If I'm home, I have access to my phone. If I'm out and about, I have access to my phone. Also, because it is an Apple product, it transfers easily. So if for some reason I don't have my phone, but I'm on my computer, or if I am working on my iPad, I also, again, have my brain dump right there, easy access. And the third option is still using technology. However, it is really better if you need to share your brain dump or kind of organize with other people, friends, or family members. I love to use Google Docs to create my brain dump list because, again, I have access to that anywhere. If I'm on my computer, I can pull up the Google Doc. I can pull it up on my phone, on my iPad, and then again, I can share it with people. So if it's kind of like there's something on here that I need to coordinate with someone else on, I'm able to share that doc with them simply through their Google Drive. So there's a few different options that you can use in order to create your brain dumping system, but you have to find the one that works the best for you. The goal is to make sure that whatever you're doing, it's something that's always with you, easily accessible, and you're going to remember to use it, and it can become a habit and a part of your life in order for it to actually serve as a benefit. So speaking of benefits, what are they? I touched on some of them earlier, which was definitely for me like increasing my ability to rest and sleep peacefully because my mind is not continually going, thinking about all those other things, but also it's super helpful with being more organized and being more productive. For one, I have a place to dump all of my thoughts and then I can transfer them into a more organized space in order to make sure that things are taken care of. And then for productivity, I'm not wasting time trying to remember things or thinking about, did I have that idea? What were the details? I'm literally able to go back to my brain dump list, see where I was in a process and pick up from there and continue to move forward. I also feel like brain dumping is extremely helpful to reduce your stress. Again, if your mind is on 50 different things at a time, that is overwhelming. It can be a lot for you to try to process and try to plan and do everything that you need to do. And that can be very stressful. And so in order to reduce your stress, introducing brain dumping into your daily life, into your daily routine is really going to be beneficial because you're not going to have to consistently worry about things. You see it, it's right there, and then you're able to find a solution, plug things in where they need to be, and make sure that it all gets done. So let's go ahead and get more into details with my guide, and I want to specifically share what my system is. So like I touched on earlier, I like to use my iPhone notes. So literally any and everything that comes up. If I need to make a doctor's appointment, or I have an idea for a YouTube video, or there's something I need to take care of for the car, or something I need to take care of for the home, or a purchase that I need to make, it all goes on the brain dump list, literally every single thing. And then, so even when it's like I'm getting ready to go to bed, I'm trying to go into my restful slumber, and something pops into my mind, I'm like, oh, I forgot I need to do this, I have something else I need to take care of. Instead of like being like, oh, let me log in to this appointment website and try to figure all this out, like I need to go to bed, I don't have time for that. So I just roll over, type on my list, make an appointment for chiropractor, and then I go back to sleep, and I know that I'm gonna look at my list in the morning and I don't have to worry about it at this time. Now, don't get carried away with like, oh, I am trying to think of something, like, do I have something on my mind? Is there something I'm forgetting? Like, then that's gonna keep you up too. But if it's on your mind, it pops into there, put it on your brain dump list, and then set it and forget it for the night. Then the next morning, I wake up, I do my morning routine, and as part of my morning routine, as I'm kind of setting up my work day, I create a to-do list. Now, my to-do list is a little kind of wild sometimes, but it makes sense in my mind. So I literally put like to do at the top of like a weekly planner. I don't put what I'm doing on Monday. The Monday space is everything I have to do for work. The Tuesday space is everything I have to do for my personal life. The Wednesday space is any like questions I have. The Thursday space is any notes that I need to add. So it's not like based on the days, but that's the system I like. It works out for me. So I pull it from my brain dump list. So if there was something that popped into my mind that I need to take care of for work, I look back at my list, I say, okay, I have these 2 things I need to do for work. Then on my written to-do list, I write down those 2 things. If there were 3 things that I added to my list that I need to take care of for anything on my personal to-do list, I grab them, I look at my list, I write them down on my personal to-do list. And then from there, I make sure that they get done usually throughout the week. So I work a 4-day work week. So I typically try to make sure that I have everything taken care of and scheduled at some point between Monday and Thursday. But it's on that personal to-do list where I can see it, and I just add to it every day based on my brain dump list. If I didn't add anything new to my brain dump list, that's fine too. I just don't add anything additional to my to-do list or my personal to-do list either, and it's perfectly fine. And I do the same thing with my content creation. So I have like a little book where I kind of write down what I'm going to be posting on certain days. So again, if it's popped into my mind, I wrote it on my brain dump list. I don't segment anything on my list, it's just on the list. But then I know where it goes in my actual note-taking and my system in life, and I just move it over there. So if I said, oh, I had this video idea, I go to my little black notebook that I have for content creation, and I plug it in. Hey, here's a video, the topic that I want to discuss, and here's the date, here's the opening. Okay, perfect, check that off. And so again, I'm not going through this system of being like, oh, I have a video idea. Let me get up, let me go grab my black journal, let me write it down, let me find a place. Or, oh, I need to make an appointment. Let me get up, let me go make the appointment right now, or put it on my personal to-do list right now. None of that. Go straight to the brain dump list, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, take care of my morning routine, and then I'm able to go over my brain dump list and segment everything to where it needs to be. But you do have to be disciplined throughout this process as well, because it can be very easy to just have a brain dump list that stays a brain dump list. So that morning piece is a very key component, that you're actually going back in, reviewing everything that you put on that brain dump, and then transferring it to where it needs to be. And then once you transferred it to your to-do list for work, your personal to-do list, your content creation to-do list, whatever it is, then actually looking at those and following through and taking care of those things. So it really can reduce overwhelm if you follow the system and you are consistent and disciplined and you make it a part of your routine. And honestly, it really does not take long. Like today when I woke up, I wanted to change one of my video ideas last night. And so I was like, you know what? On my brain dump list, I just typed in, change this video title, to this video title. I also had an appointment that I needed to make for the chiropractor, so I put make chiropractor appointment with a note, ideally in the morning, and there was a specific email that I needed to send for work. So this morning, did my morning routine, got up, came into my office, wrote down my work email that I need to send, wrote down the appointment that I need to make under my personal to-do list, and then also in my little black notebook, wrote down the switch of my video title. So then throughout the day today, I have all of that right there in front of me. So when I had a moment, I made my appointment. Also, before I shut my computer from finishing up my work day, I sent out that email. And then as now I'm doing content, I've made the switch in my journal, and I know that when I edit that content, I'm gonna go in and swap out the title of that video. It's so simple once you get into the routine. I promise you it is tried and true, and it works. It reduces your stress so much. It reduces your overwhelm. It helps you stay organized and productive, and it's a super easy process to actually be consistent with and keep up with. So let's say you've been trying it out and you're like, is this brain dump thing working for me? Or is the way that I'm doing it, the system that I've created, actually something that's going well? That is where the assessment piece comes in. I feel like with any productivity system, anything new that you're trying, anything like time blocking or setting up routines in your life, you should always assess how they are going to make sure that they are making maximum impact. So in order to do that, you've got to try it out for a while. I would say at least 2 weeks is a good amount of time to see if this is actually working out for you. And then make a list of the pros and cons. What were the positive benefits that you gained from creating a brain dumping system and actually sticking to it and following it? Or what were some of the things that you encountered that maybe didn't work so well that you need to shift and adjust? Then you implement those changes into the routine and the system for the upcoming week and see if those changes made the brain dumping process any better for you. It does not have to be a super regimented thing. There's no right or wrong way to brain dump, but this is the specific guide that has helped me to be successful with brain dumping. It is one of the longest productivity type of systems that I've used, and it's something that I don't really ever plan to stop using because it has worked so well for me. So I wanted to share that with all of you in this video today. If you are looking for something new that could actually help you get all of your ideas and thoughts and frustrations out of your mind onto a piece of paper, onto something digital that you're then able to transfer into real life, putting on your calendar, putting on your to-do list, and getting things taken care of so that you can live a more simplified and carefree life. So I hope this was really helpful for you. Definitely let me know in the comments below if you're gonna try out brain dumping or a system that you use for your own personal brain dumping that you feel like works really well. If this is a new concept to you, I hope it was super helpful, and I hope it's something that you'll be able to try out to add some benefit and ease to your life as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Affirmations with Amber.